Up, and away. Welcome in. It is the ATB Show, atbshow.com, where you can get all the links. You've got me in beautiful downtown New Hampshire, Rubber Shoes and Studio R in beautiful downtown LA, the Lowell area. As we were coming on, you had a mouthful of something. I'm not sure what it was, but I'm intrigued.
Carrots.
What do you? Oh, so good. So are you that person? So I feel like every January there is always somebody at your office walking around with the, here we go. Just filled up this morning. There's always somebody on the health kick, and they've got the 30-gallon jug of water and a bag of carrots. Are you eating so many carrots that you're jaundiced now? Are you starting to yellow out on us? No. Okay.
It was just, so I have a hard out at 5:59. I have a haircut, so usually after the show.
Is that what this is all about? Man,
Yeah.
we couldn't get, well, Scotty Dukes has something. He's got a little inflammation in the, he's a little phlegmy when I talked to him the other day. And Adam is also on assignment, so just the two of us. You said I have a hard out at 6. I'm like, he must have something vitally important. Now, I'm going to back that up with, I completely appreciate that about you. I have a standing 6:20 with my barber every Friday. And it is, it's not about the haircut. It's about, it's cathartic to sit in that chair and just know, I'm taking a little time for myself, a little self-care. And for me on Fridays at 6:20, it's the end of the week. Symbolic.
Monday nights
Okay.
or Saturday,
Okay.
but I started golfing on Monday nights.
Ooh.
And my Saturdays are booked up until like the second weekend of July. So I had to squeeze it in.
So where are we golfing on Monday nights?
Place in Barica called Swanson Meadow. I'm just trying to, I'm posting our We Are Live stuff. So
I hope we are. Are we on the internet? Okay. Yes. Yeah, excellent. Yep. So is this a men's league, or you're just getting out to get a Twilight 9, or are you getting an afternoon 18? What's happening?
So one of the new guy that started working with us is in January. He has a group of guys that show up on Mondays if they have a block of 3 tee times.
Perfect.
So it started out as, just whoever shows up plays, and then they ended up, after like 4 weeks, they split up they took everyone's scores and split them up between A players and B players.
Seedings.
And then drew out of a hat, matched an A player with a B player. So we're playing teams for, I think, 5 weeks. And then
I love all of this.
We might have a playoff. It was kind of thrown together last minute. I'm just glad that I can play every Monday. Mm-hmm. It's something, I didn't rejoin NAB this year, so I could.
Yeah, that's where I thought you were. Okay.
So I could, do my quest of 2,200 miles.
Love it. So here's the place that I belong to. I've been holding this all day. Love these teas. Love these teas. The place that I belong to for the last handful of years, I just decided I wanted to get around but during COVID, we were hopping all over the place, playing a whole bunch of different courses, and the place that I have belonged for the last handful of years is good, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to bother, because it's the way they do it. I'm not locked and loaded. Like normally when you join a place, and I don't know what your membership at the NAB was, but you feel committed. Like I have to go play enough rounds here to justify the money that I dropped. That was not the way it was. It's at the course I was at. It was you drop this money into an account, and you could chew away at it or not or whatever. There'd be times I wanted to leave money in my account to drag out the season, and I would literally put my rounds and the boys' rounds just on my debit card as opposed to pulling out of the account. So that wasn't really the concern. The money was going to carry over if I was going to go back the next season. So the first round we played there this year, and we have a whole bunch of guys at the office and girls that play together. So we started the Keller Golf Association. So we have the KGA, and we're constantly playing. So I will, because I'm a maniac, I will call and get like 3 back-to-back tee times. On this particular day, there it is, AAA. Oh, we haven't done it yet. We still have to do that. I booked maybe 2. I think I booked 2 back-to-back. I think we had one person missing. And when I know, I'll go in and say, "Hey, Lindsay, I've got 2 groups, and in my second group, we got somebody who banged out." So the next time I went to book at this course, I'm booking online through my membership account, which technically not a member anymore, but still have the account. And it came up and said, "Oops, looks like you've had one too many no-shows for the season. You're unable to book online." I was like, "You have got to be lighting me on fire." So
Holy
they
crap.
are politely, this is where I go Irish Catholic burnt match. They are dead to me now. We will not be going back there because I can't be. So here's the thing, because this is what I normally do. And I know this is maniacal, but stay with me on this. If Janina's waking up in the middle of the night, we're checking on Cameron's numbers because of his diabetes, or one of the cats decides to do the Zoomies at 2:30. When I wake up on a Saturday morning at 2:30, everybody's website has refreshed. You can book your tea time for the next week. So that's what I'll normally do. I'll wake up at the crack of stupid and I'll grab next Saturday's tea times. So when I'm trying to do this at that particular course, it sends me that message. It says, alternatively, you need to call the clubhouse. Now, the clubhouse isn't open. And when I do call later that morning, it's probably going to be
already booked.
So I'm looking forward to eventually running into somebody from over there. I'm not the most famous person over there, but we're pretty well known because we drag people in for a handful of years. And they're going to be like, "Where you been?" And I'm going to be like, "I'm so glad you asked. Your policy's ridiculous. What a ridiculous policy." And
you had one miss?
One miss. And of all the years that I've been dragging in 2 and 3 blocks at 12 guys, 8 guys on a regular basis, and one miss, and that's their new policy. And I appreciate that. Run your business how you choose to. And don't forget, there's a million other courses where I can drag my loud mouth and all of my friends, which I will do. So,
so Monday, we played on Memorial Day because there was enough people that wanted to play. So we went, and I go pay, and they charge me, and it's more than usual. And I'm like, why is it 30? It's like, oh, it's a holiday. I'm like, really? It's like, we come here every week, and you're gonna charge me the holiday rate because it's a holiday? And I'm like, whatever. All right.
Where was it 30? Help me with 30.
So it's only 9 holes.
Oh, okay. So is that 30? That 39 holes walking?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, most places up here right now, and certainly Saturdays and Sundays, we play usually Saturday. Like for example, because Bubba's got commitments. We're playing Sunday morning because we've got Special Olympics with Cameron Friday and Saturday. So we're playing Crack a Stupid Sunday morning because Aiden's going to Grace's graduation party in the afternoon. So we're teeing off at 6:40, Rochester Country Club. Phenomenal. Hello, Mitch. And that will be, they're actually probably, I think maybe 65 with 22 for the cart for 18 on a weekend. Not crazy. Most places up here last
plus
week.
22?
Yes. Yep. So for example,
is that for half a cart or a full cart?
Well, everybody's paying
22 and
so for example, we played the Links at Outlook last weekend on Saturday. It was, the round was 70. Your cart was 25. So Bubba and I together were 190 for Aiden and I. You're both paying 25 for the cart.
Yeah.
It's 50 for a cart, 25 ahead.
Any chance you've played the Ridge in Guilford?
The Ridge in Guilford.
Under the new, it used to be Pheasant Ridge. I guess there's new management now.
I've heard the name. I have not.
Okay,
I have not.
That's where the day before Father's Day Corey tournament we've done for years and years and years. And since the pandemic, we hadn't been back up there.
Yeah.
So we're doing it again this year. So I was just curious how much their prices have jumped. But down here, they're they're gouging people.
Well, they can. The sport, I think
Green Meadow is closed.
Yes.
And there's Tingsboro's closed. So there's all they're booking, and they're I haven't played anywhere else this year other than this place. So I don't know what it is. And this place it's cheap, and it needs to be. It's probably a step above Tingsboro Country Club.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's I don't think it lost any steam. I think COVID gave it a rebirth, and I think the youth movement that is moving into the PGA because so many people have left for live, I think has been good for it. And I just think, I think it's wildly popular. I think it's become generationally. I think it's what most. I certainly at our office here, so many of my younger agents are super into it. Into it. So it's such a good time. Like I say all the time, like we were out this past weekend and I'm like, we're just standing on the tee box. I'm like, cause you occasionally will run into, anyone, never mind guy or girl, you'll run into somebody and they're like, I just don't get it. And when you're standing there at 7:15 in the morning with your friends on the tee box and the music's going and maybe somebody's already working their first Bloody Mary. You're like, how do you not get this? Like, how do you, I don't know how you don't get it, And I'm terrible. I was just going to ask you, what are you shooting these days?
So I've only played 9 holes so far this year.
Sure.
Like, I've had a 40, a 42, 2 44s, and a 46.
That does not shock me. God bless you. Yes. Coach K, the great Kevin Brank.
Yeah.
So I've told this story a million times. Last time I played with him, he's like, come meet me. He's a member over at Mount Pleasant. And I'm pulling into the parking lot and he's standing in his trunk and he's taping his wrist. And I'm like, I'm not good enough to know what I should be taping. Like the fact that what parts of the body you should
tape up to golf.
Yeah, he's taping up for golf. I'm like, he's going to kick my ass. And that's a fait accompli. He's so good. He shoots really well. Kevin's hovering around 80 and in the high 70s, which is just must be a treat. I enjoy the hell out of it. My big thing is I'm so short, and I don't mean 5'9". I mean like I don't hit it long, and so it's the good news is it's in front of me, but I'm always going to be a stroke or two behind everybody because my driver is not going anywhere. Like, what do you hit your drive? Your driver is probably going.
I put it in the bag the last few weeks because I can't keep it in play.
Oh, it drifts on you that bad. Yeah.
I've been hitting my three hybrid instead.
The 3-brid, love the 3-brid. My slice has now dissipated so much, thank God. Just keep your head down. That's all I have to do. My slice has died in flight, but it's now it's panning left to right. It's hitting center fairway, Billy. But when it hits center fairway, all the velocity's in the spin.
Oh yeah.
So it will hit right fairway and then it bounces, So I'm usually center right or right fringe of the fairway. But I'm without fail, if Aiden and I are playing together, Aiden's a good 7,500 yards in front of me every time.
Like usually I have a slice and I aim for my slice.
Yes, so you set up left, and then you're going to hold the one.
This course is pretty favorable for a slice.
Yeah.
And so there was a couple holes I brought it, and I pulled my head off, and it went straight to the left. I crushed them nice and straight, but 300 yards into the woods.
Yes. Yeah. Dead straight into the woods. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. It's so much fun. And I think, it's such a great, I know that, you guys have the Father's Day tradition that you've always done. Yeah. I think it's such a great time with, if you can do it with your family. And it's funny because I was picking on Janina because she goes hiking and we go golfing. And now she wants to go do pitch and putt. There's a great place in Wells, and she's like, maybe we'll do it for Father's Day. I'm like, well, weather dependent. I'd rather make a trip to Kowloon, but either way, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
We could also do both. Who knows? Yeah. We do want to celebrate the fact that we are brought to you by our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks. Rubber Shoes, take it away. Even though we're late, we're trying to talk about something that might be more aggravating than the Celtics. So we discussed golf for a little bit, just to set the table.
Yeah. Brought to you by AAA Work Trucks, your one-stop shop for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a vehicle, it's a good bet AAA can take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com. I just like to add something. So yes, it's AAA Work Trucks, but we do stuff for your personal vehicles also. If you need WeatherTech mats, we do those all the time. And
is there a detail department and tinting and all that stuff? Do you guys have okay? Just check it. Well, there's listen,
Yeah.
Joe and Leslie, I've got a million ideas. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I have to tell you, as I was changing the name, because the last time we did the two-up, it was Adam and I, so I was replacing Adam with Rubber Shoes, which we've done on the show because Adam's on assignment. And I have to tell you, Rubber Shoes, I'm going to show you on my phone. If I start to punch in, is it gonna come up? Hang on a second. I gotta get out of this. Go here. It's gonna keep doing that, which is really annoying. Maybe if I go back to a group chat. My point being, I'm not going to show everybody my text chat, but in that search bar at the top, I was punching in Rubber Shoes because I was just thinking Rubber Shoes and I'm going to text Rubber Shoes. I was punching in Rubber Shoes, and it actually, as I started to punch in RUBB, William Corey populated to the top of the list.
Oh.
And I'm like, wait a minute, because so there's other people, and I joke about this all the time. One of the guys I work with, his name is Peter, and the running joke is we just call him Pedro, or I call him Pedro. And I will go to text him, and I'm punching in Pedro because I call him Pedro so much. So I'm just fascinated that it's not like I have Rubber Shoes in my phone as a nickname for you.
Oh.
But yeah, are they listening that much that when I say Rubber Shoes, they know as I punch that in by mistake that I actually mean William Corey? That is amazing and horrifying all at once.
I think they're doing even more than listening, because I went into a DSW, the shoe store,
Designer Shoe Warehouse or whatever it is. Yeah, sure.
I went in there and I tried on a pair of shoes. I didn't say the name.
Strappy sandals, some lovely heels. What were they for? Was it for a wedding?
No, I was actually killing time, and I was looking. I just tried on some like boat shoes type things.
Yeah.
And they were the Hey Dudes brand.
Yes, sir.
Never said the name. I just went in there, tried them on, left, and the next day it shows up on my feed, and I'm like, they're not even listening. They know where you are or something. It's crazy.
Well, yeah. Well, that I mean, I don't know how they figured out, unless the company's doing it within the store, but that'll happen when you're driving past a Lowe's. You'll get geofenced.
Yeah.
So if you're driving past a Buffalo Wild Wings, you're using Waze. Waze will geofence where you are, and the ad, if you're using, a free version of Waze, the ad that populates will be Buffalo Wild Wings because you're driving past it.
Yeah.
So has Hey Dudes, here it goes because I just said it out loud.
Yep.
Is Hey Dudes like geofencing people's phones with, it's called NFC, right? Near field communication. Yeah. Are they using NFC on your phone? Have they put something in their part of the store?
That's what I'm thinking.
Geofence your
something
phone
in the box
the
or the tag or something. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, that's the running joke is I'll grab Janina's phone and I'm just like, TaylorMade Stealth 2, TaylorMade Stealth 2, strippers, strippers, TaylorMade Stealth 2. Just to give her Father's Day ideas,
Yeah.
But anyway, are we going to pick the scab, my dear friend? Are we going to talk about the thing about the stuff?
I went into work today.
You moved on?
So I was at the fire station yesterday, so I didn't get to talk to Joey and Leslie before today. And I walked in today, and
they were there.
And I'm like, I'm turning the page.
Yeah.
Didn't even discuss it with them.
Yep. We're on to the Red Sox. It's officially Red Sox season. Yes.
Well, it's been Red Sox season.
I'm joking. I know.
Going on to
you're past
OTAs
that.
started today,
that.
I believe.
Oh, did OTA start today?
Yes, and they said that Mac Jones looked wonderful out there today. It was
Which
like
is funny
9 for 9, and
yeah, there was so much hubbub about how lean he looked in his Taylor Swift pictures with his fiance girlfriend. I don't think they're married yet. Fiance girlfriend / whatever.
Girlfriend, yeah.
There was so much. I think Sophie is her name. There was so much hubbub about how lean he looked in those pictures, and at the same time, like, this is a pretty pivotal year for him. Like it has to go well. I completely appreciate if he's not going to be drinking, Jolt Cola and eating burritos. Like I think he wants to be. And if you look at the blueprint of the guy that was successful before him, maybe he's paying attention to pliability and being lean and all that kind of stuff. And, obviously we're going with him, and I'm not anti-Mac at all. I guess I'll throw him in the same bucket of I'm not sure as I feel about Joe Mazzulla. Like, I don't know if he's the answer. I don't know if he's the answer. And we're not gonna spend a whole bunch of time on the Celtics because everybody watched the game, unfortunately, Monday night. But I don't know, to get back there and put a bow on that conversation. And I'm sure we'll discuss it as we get into the offseason, and Scotty and Adam are going to come back and we're going to want to talk about it. I completely appreciate that. Yeah, he got us. What did we end up? How many points away? 19 points away from 20 to win. 20 points away from advancing. I don't know. Wow. Did he save his job? Do you think he saved his job?
So just to let you know, first thing Monday night, I was ready to blow it up, get rid of Jaylen Brown. I watched the ESPN, some NBA TV on Monday when I was, not Monday at the fire station, Tuesday at the fire station. I had it on, and I tell you what, I don't know if you've been able to watch JJ Redick at all.
Redick's great. Redick's
phenomenal.
Yeah, he's so good.
JJ Redick talked me into keeping the Jays together. So I'm off the cliff of blowing it up, and because he made a lot of sense that they're still really young. Steph Curry didn't win his first championship till he was 27.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you're going to trade Jaylen Brown for another superstar from somewhere like a Dame Lillard, which is you're giving up 10 years by getting a Lillard,
right? So
unless you're trading for someone equal value that way, just to have someone different, you're not we're not rebuilding. We're not trading them for 3 draft picks,
Right.
So I was talked back into at least keeping them together. I think they need to make some change. I would love them to have a Rondo type point guard, someone that's going to facilitate
the facilitator.
More,
yep,
and not have Tatum and Brown bringing the ball down themselves. It did Missoula. So back to the question you said, I don't think he saved his job. I don't think they're willing to eat the money.
Yes,
to get rid of him.
Is Wick on the hook for 14? Is that all guaranteed, or could they restructure that? They could go back and restructure it, could they not?
I mean, if he's willing, yeah. But so he's due, I think they said $11 million the next 2 years.
Okay.
So they're
over the next 2 years, or $11 million each year for the next 2 years?
No, I believe it's like $5.5 million each year for the next 2 years. So they're not willing to eat all 11 of it. Maybe if it's another bad go around next year, they're willing to eat $5 million, $5.5 million.
Yep.
So I think we're stuck with, but they need to get him help, and he has to use it because he definitely was outcoached. He did. I don't know. So another thing I was thinking of. So this is the third different coach the Jays have had. They've had Stevens, Udoka, and now Mazzulla. It's very hard for me to believe that these coaches are telling them, okay, just stand there and dribble the ball and play hero ball at the end of these games. And so I believe they're doing it on their own, and they don't have a coach that's, well, definitely Mazzulla doesn't have. He doesn't have the clout to tell them what to do. Udoka, I think, could have. Yeah. But Scotty Duke says $14 million over the next 3 years.
Okay. I love that he's active in the chat. Yeah. Perfect.
So, they're definitely not getting rid of him this year. There's already been reports out that he's not going anywhere by beat writers. So they need to tweak the team. You know, I think that's what it needs. It needs a tweak, and Marcus Smart might be the guy they tweak out.
Yeah, see, I hate that. I'm such a I'm a laundry guy. Like if you're in the laundry, I love you.
Yeah.
And I'm also a keep the band together guy. Like it breaks my heart for Easy Al to be walking away because I'm sure he's got to be like, I gotta go. Or I don't know, and I don't know where he stands contractually. How many people are due to come back?
He has another year left.
He does. Okay.
I think there's only two Grant Williams, and there's one other that are free agents.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and I think Scotty was talking about. I think Grant's probably.
Yeah, I think
they're
he's
not.
gone.
They're not going to be chasing him.
For some reason, him and Missoula, I think, butted heads.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Pritchard for most of the season he didn't use. Then he got hurt, and then he came back and he used him a little bit to end the season. And then there's arguments on the radio that I've been listening to that they're not going to play Hauser and Pritchard in the playoffs. It's like, well, I think you could have used them a little more.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially when you have 7 guys that are cold shooting, you need to find something. Like if that's going to be and it's the analytics. So they asked Missoula, "Is like, oh, do you think you took too many threes?" No, when they were like 5 for 35 on Game 6, I think it was. They're like, no. And so if that's the philosophy, and I think that was Brad Stevens' philosophy also. So you need to. If you have 7 guys that can't shoot, you need to go to your 8th guy, your 9th guy, find someone.
Somebody's got to be warm. Yep.
Find your Caleb Martin,
Yeah.
Hey, Did you know that he was undrafted?
Oh my God. You guys in our text thread were it was the game within the game watching you guys complain about the fact that they kept talking about how he was undrafted.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was unbelievable. Like I've always been of the mindset, and I think, I don't know who subscribes to this, because you could have argued, then how the hell did we win the 28-3 game with the Patriots? But I think with basketball, even though it's a game of runs, you can see the way things are setting up. My biggest concern, and I usually wake up day of, I was talking to Scotty about this, I usually wake up day of, and like your tail's tingling. You remember that cartoon?
You seeing all that stuff?
What's that? No, I'm not. I'm not seeing all the chat stuff.
He's blowing it up over there.
Like you can get a sense of how it's going. I was fascinated by the fact that if you were watching the pregame, one of the best in the country, I think that I love that show.
Yeah.
You if you didn't know, you wouldn't have known that Miami was the other team. It was 99% Celtics talk. That was making me a little weary. And then when we started and things were just clanging, I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel good at all. And I don't. And on play number 1 from scrimmage, he rolls his ankle. And I give him credit. I give him credit for staying out there.
Yep.
And then, Butler rolls. And you just, I don't know. I'm going to go back to, and I love him, and I don't want him to go. I don't know how we keep them both around long term if they're due their super maxes when the time comes. And I know, is Tatum first? Who's Jalen?
So
Jalen goes first, and then Tatum.
Extend Jaylen Brown this year. They can extend him. It wouldn't kick in until next year.
Okay.
And then, so they would have 2 years before the first one would kick in, and the third season, both of them would kick in if they end up doing 2 supermaxes. So and then at that point you look and you can trade these guys. It's like once you sign these guys, you're not stuck with them. There's plenty of people that are willing to trade for these supermax guys. So I don't know if after Game 7, how 8 turnovers. That's the thing.
It was like watching last year again. It was last year all over again.
I don't want him dribbling into the paint and dribbling it off his foot, or even not even off his foot. He just loses it sometimes. So frustrating. That game was so frustrating. I ended up. I think I went to bed after the third quarter. I was like, yeah, this is done.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see them get that far, run it all the way back and get to the point where we're in our house, seemingly perfect conditions, like everything they could have hoped for, and then just to absolutely lay an egg. And now I'll go back to, and I wasn't convinced at all, and I'm coming up not looking crazy. The whole thing of, oh, this is unlocked Jason Tatum now. He has arrived after his 51, which was a prolific performance, but it's not with the consistency that you could say Kobe's going to show up, Tiger's going to show up, Bird's going to show up, like athletes that just show up and it's obnoxiously expected. Brady, for the most part, like these people that we edify and we put that have statues outside of the Garden and outside of Fenway that showed up and performed, and I just don't know. And what's heartbreaking is he is, quote unquote, our best player. But he disappears, and he disappeared in game. They all did. Our best shooter, who doesn't have, I don't think has the capability, even though he got us to Game 7. Derek White doesn't have the prowess to put the team on his back, and he was trying. And I'll give him credit. He was hitting floaters. He was taking jump shots. He was hitting shots, thank God. But to your point, bring out Hauser. Give Peyton Pritchard 20 seconds. And then I guess I was disappointed. And I know it was a fait accompli, but when there's 2:10 left and we emptied the bench, at that point,
yes, I was already in bed. I had already given up.
Tatum's got a broken leg. Just let them all stay out there. Let them all pretend for the city of Boston and for New England that they're actually trying to win this game. 2:10 to empty the bench. And I know logistically, why would you run the risk of anybody getting further hurt? But we're about to head to golf season. So, I would like to see everybody stay out there and actually fight for this. That was, to me, the most depressing. Visually on TV, it didn't look like it was getting emptied, but everybody that I know that was at the game said, oh, no, it emptied out for sure. And it was just, I don't know. And then, because they're all going to the bench. Yeah, thanks for a great season, but what are we celebrating? I can't believe this is the conversation we're having right now. And Miami's going to Denver.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, and especially, I would at least tune in for the pregame show, but the TNT's done for the year, right? This is all ESPN and ABC now, right?
Yep.
Not good. Not good.
There's so many head scratches as far as, I would love to know how many decisions are actually made by Missoula. Is he being told by other people, okay, this is what we're doing. We're shooting a three. You're playing Horford because Horford can shoot the three. Because Robert Williams is only averaging, I think, around 20 minutes a game.
Yeah.
And he looks like your best player when he's out there. Defensively and offensively, when they go to the paint, he's the one they can dish to. So I would like to see the roles reversed. See Robert, and he's getting old, and Horford's not getting any younger, and he definitely looked like his age out there at a lot of times in the playoffs this year.
He was walking into the Garden with his dad, and if you squinted, you couldn't tell the difference. I'm joking. It's not that bad. But that's why my heart breaks. I hope, because they could all make whatever decision. The team's going to do what the team's going to do. I'd love for Al to come back. I'd love for us to get this done. He's been phenomenal.
Well, he's under contract one more year.
No, I know, but everybody could be a pawn in the game right now. Anybody could get dealt. Anybody could get dealt. And I don't want it to be Marcus Smart. I think if you're going to keep the Jays together, I think you got to keep Marcus out there too. But you're right. We do need the person who runs it up, calls the play, and can facilitate to let them get to where they need to be.
You figure, Brogdon was definitely really hurt there in the last series. He couldn't even shoot.
Yep.
They'll get Gallinari for next season, healthy.
Oh, right. That's right.
So I think, I still would like a real point guard that's just out there to dribble and, not so much a shoot, not like a Lillard or a Sexton.
Yep.
A Mitchell, though, not that type that's shoot, and Kyrie, who's kind of looking for his shot first. I would like a old school point guard that's out there looking to set up plays and dish it. And it baffles me that an NBA team can't break the zone, or they refuse to. It's it's like they would go in the zone and for the most part they would just stand out at 3. That's exactly what they want you to do.
Yeah, they were
Like you
daring
got to
them to.
move.
Yep.
You got to move the ball around. You got to cut through, make them collapse in
Yeah.
to open the spot for. Like you can still have the mentality that you want to shoot the 3. But
Yeah.
you have to move them around to get the open shot. There was a lot of forced shots. And Scotty Duke said the wee one has finished gymnastics, so he's on his way home. So he'll check out the show later.
Perfect. Well, I guess what's fascinating is I feel like that initial drive to the hoop for Tatum he was sort of going to set the temperature for the game.
Yeah,
like I am coming in, I am going to put the team on my back, and I think his ankle getting rolled, and it was pretty telltale. Like as soon as they would reset and they were going to start down the court, he would take the inbound pass and he would dish right away to Jalen. Like he was not bringing the ball down the court because he was on the struggle bus. Yep. And I give him credit. He stayed out there. I don't know how many minutes he didn't play, but he was out there outside of getting a couple of blows. He was out there.
I think
for almost all of it.
44, 46 minutes, I think he ended up playing.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. And I know he wasn't the best version of him.
And I wonder if, the rest of the guys puckered a little after that happened and put a little extra strain on themselves that they didn't need.
Yep. You're watching Brady limp. You're watching Mahomes limp, right? You know, and you're just like, oh, shit. What version are we going to get?
Yeah, because I agree. I think Tatum, I mean, he tried to do it still, but he just he wasn't moving the same way. So it's kind of – but just as a coach, you have to when Miami had guys go cold, Spoelstra went deeper in his bench and pulled guys out and see if I can get something to go.
Yep.
You got to keep, you have your base lineup, and when things are clicking, they're clicking. You don't have to worry about it. It's when you face that your team has gone cold. You need to try everything in your arsenal to try and find something, and he just doesn't seem to have that. He can't that thought process. He can't in-game think, and make.
Yeah, it was to use a Red Sox term, it was empty the bullpen.
Right.
Like there was no tomorrow. Like it was empty the bullpen. Everyone's available. We might pull one of the guys down from the stands. You're not selling hot dogs. You're pitching next.
Yep.
Can you throw lefty?
When you don't use Pritchard for, in actual game time,
right.
He played some garbage time, but when all of a sudden you pull him out, third series into the playoffs in an actual game time situation, that's a lot of pressure on the guy. It's like throw these. You can use these guys for a couple minutes here and there during every game, just so they get the feel and they don't get that oh shit moment, when they're actually thrown in there. Haven't played in 3 weeks, but now they're asking me to actually go out there and do something.
Yeah, win a game 7.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, it was. So at least I'm not looking to blow it up. I love Marcus Smart too. He was our second best player in Game 6.
Yeah. Yep.
Him and Derek White were the two best players, and
his defense is phenomenal.
I don't want to get rid of him either, but I think Pritchard's gone. Pritchard's going to request a trade.
Yeah.
Grant Williams, for some reason, him and Missoula just didn't see eye to eye.
Well, did he get out over his skis when he was mouthing off?
No, he was during the
I didn't
season,
hate that he did that. I want that bravado, but
I liked it, but nobody stepped up to help him.
He picked a fight and turned around and everyone was gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So I like his fire when he gets in there. We definitely need someone like that. It's almost like, Scotty had said, thrown up Buddy Hield's name. That would be a great guy. He's always been rumored to come out here. So he would be a great shooter for us.
Yeah.
That's been in, a starter for years.
Yep.
But I definitely think they need a little bit of tweaks.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of cap space, so it would have to be with trades. And I think they have the veteran exception as far as adding players without trades. They don't have a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah.
But such a letdown.
Are you getting the preseason tickets from Joe and Leslie or what?
I don't know if he must go there. I tell you, Joey goes. So he splits the seats with his uncle, and so during the playoffs, it's him and his uncle that go to the games.
That's it. 2 seats.
Leslie said she can't deal with it. Playoffs, she can't.
Too
deal
emotional.
With being
Too much. Yep.
She's how Janina is. Needs to go to.
Yeah,
the other
Janina
room
hides in
once
the
a
bathroom.
while.
Yeah, she sits in the tub. Yeah, covers herself with a blanket.
You need to be able to walk away when you're in the house. I went to a playoff game 4 years ago, I think it was, but it was like game 1.
Yep.
So there wasn't huge pressure, and I could, the more it means, I think the less I would want to be in the building. Because I'm the same way. Not that I get up and walk away from the game, but I need to get up and scream at people.
Sure.
Myself, usually.
Well, that's probably the most horrifying part, too. I mean, I was sitting there watching that and watching Game 7 and thinking how many people dropped 6, 7, 8 grand on those sidelines, on the courtside seats. I mean, what do those look like online?
No. Courtside was, $50,000, $60,000.
Sure.
It was saying, so some guy I golfed with on Monday had looked on StubHub for like back row balcony was going for like $2,000.
Really?
Yeah. So if you're in the load section, you're close to $10,000 probably.
But up against the bricks were how much?
If you wanted to go. Oh.
You looking?
I don't know if you can hear me.
I can.
Everything's froze on my end.
Uh-oh. No, we can hear you. Keep talking.
Let me look at the show on live. What's going on? Oh, I don't see anything on there.
Uh-oh. I can hear you. Did you lose me? Can you hear me? Oh, boy. I'm right here, dude. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear.
Can you hear me, dude? What is going on? Hello? Hello, hello, hello? This is epic. Now he's gone. All right, I'm going to carry this. He's going to come back. It's going to be great. We covered the Celtics. We are bringing Rubbish Shoes back onto the show, which is phenomenal. How we doing? You got me now?
Yeah.
Dude, that whole time I could hear you. We were good.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a good solid 2 minutes of us saying to each other, "I can hear you." It was like a Verizon commercial.
I think it dropped on YouTube though.
Oh,
because I went on there and it had ended. Oh no, we're live. We're back live.
yeah. No, I'm well, but we're going to YouTube from my desk, and I haven't moved.
Well, I had went on there to see if it was still live, and it was not live. But now it's live again.
Oh,
that's. I don't know what happened. That was so strange.
Yes. I was hoping I was hoping while we're still here. I wasn't hoping, but I was hoping I'd be right. Remember I said there's going to be 2 overtimes? I'm like, are we going game 7 double overtime? Oh. Is that where we're headed? But then, it was was the gong show and we kept rimming shots. So I'm like, no, apparently not. So anywho.
I know. It's so like it never felt like we were in it and there was
Nope. It was over as soon as it started.
Yeah.
Like the ankle roll. And that was another thing. When he rolled his ankle, I'm like, is this his Schilling moment? Right?
Yeah.
Is this going to be a Schilling moment? Like, is this going to be what is that? I immediately thought that, like, because he could have left the game, and to your point, played 44 plus minutes. It could have been a Schilling moment for him, and it just didn't turn into that. And again, I don't hold that on him. We have the talent surrounding him and Jalen that they both could have had bad nights and still, 2 seed.
Well, that's
seed losing to an 8 seed.
So
horrible.
Jalen keeps thinking that he wants to possibly be a number 1 guy somewhere. That was his opportunity to take over that game and put up 40 for us. And he went the other way. 8 turnovers, I think that was the most in a playoff game ever by one player.
Yeah, I was talking to Scotty earlier in the week, and I thought I had heard like we were 4 for 40 or something like that, and on some ridiculous number on the threes. They chucked up so many.
So I think earlier this season they had asked Missoula about the shooting the threes, and he came back with the most important stat out there is threes attempted. If you attempt 50 and don't hit any, is that still good? They got to go in,
Yeah.
You could just keep chucking them up, and if they don't go in, it doesn't help you at all.
Well, and not pulling people in, not going into the paint, not drawing the fouls. Yeah. None of that stuff was taking place. And knowing that everyone was ice cold, they were just sort of daring him to stay at the perimeter. Like, just keep shooting. It's not working out.
Where's option B? You need to figure something out. This is, we can't wait till next game. At that point. Yeah, I don't know. He's definitely over his head this year. Hopefully the off season they get him some bench help.
Well, if Stoudemire stayed, he went Georgia Tech, right? If Stoudemire stayed, would that have been the difference? Do we really think the bench coaches behind him are going to make the difference? Is that really going to be a thing?
If they have no NBA experience on the bench, like he was it. Stoudemire was it. They don't have any that have been in that situation, either coaching or playing. So losing him definitely hurt.
Sure.
Whether or not he would listen to him or not, maybe that's the reason why Stoudemire was like, I'm taking this head coaching job and I'm leaving. I'm not hanging around for the rest of the year.
Well, I think that's important to consider too. Like, did he peace out because he felt snubbed? Like he should have gotten the role?
Yeah. Well, that too. He didn't.
And how much of that falls on Brad? Because Brad in the interim could have walked back downstairs and done what he had been doing. And I'm not saying that Ime was going to clear it. I think in this day and age, with everything that went on with Ime and the staff member, he probably wasn't coming back. But I think just the rush to judgment to pull the tag, to sign him to this deal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely jumped the gun signing him to an extension before the full season was over. Yep. But I guess there's 2 ways to look at it. 1, jumping the gun. 2, you don't have a lame duck coach going into the playoffs, right?
Yep.
So that's where the players can turn on him even more.
Yeah, and just say he is temporary. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right. We can turn the page now.
We can turn the page.
I know Scotty and Adam will want to talk about it because they haven't had a chance, but yeah.
Yes. Yes. There'll be a bunch to talk about. I was happy that probably the one blessing is having the availability to put on the Red Sox and having them be back at Fenway, even though we lost 9-8 to Cincinnati. Dear God.
Yeah. So I was at the fire station last night. So I had a few calls. So I had seen them get the 3 runs. I didn't see them get the 5 in the bottom of the 9th.
Yep.
And then when I looked this morning, I'm like, oh crap, they almost came back and won it.
Yep. But I'm glad they're back at Fenway. I hate them on the West Coast. You know my bias. I hate them. I hate not watching them on TV anywhere but Fenway. Aesthetically is just not pleasing, especially if they're in Tampa. Don't get me started. Yeah. And the other half of that is the West Coast is just brutal. It's brutal. I was on the struggle bus enough staying awake for the playoff games. Right. I got to be honest. That was tough. I mean, I sat and watched the Lakers get eliminated, which is a pleasure. I actually recorded that. I'll watch it again tonight for therapy session. But yeah, it was just tough enough to stay up for the Celtics games, and they weren't going that late, 11 o'clock. But still, I'm like programmed.
It was like 10:30. I think they were over.
Yeah.
I flipped back and forth to the Red Sox while the playoff game was on, and then that was it. I went to bed. I mean, I wake up at 4 in the morning.
Well, that's.
I am glad. I might watch the end of the Red Sox tonight, depending how quick it goes. But I am relieved that, okay, now I can get back to my regular sleep pattern again.
Yes. Because I'm failing in sleepy nights, usually around 9 o'clock. I'm just lights out. And the Red Sox, I mean, I love watching it. It's on, but, it's not appointment television like you're sitting up for a playoff game that we should have won at home after we fought all the way back, but we didn't, which is great.
Yeah.
You off to your haircut?
I got a couple minutes left.
A few more minutes left. What do we want to touch on before we escape?
Well, now all eyes are on the Red Sox. Let's see what they can do with all of New England, watching them. And so I know when we were texting yesterday, Adam's like, oh, why am I going to tune in for a 4th place team? Well, yes, they are in 4th place, but they're in the best division in baseball, and they're only 3 games out of the wild card spot. So they still are in it as long as they don't have a huge slide. They've won more series than they've lost so far. So they're things are looking good. The pitches look good. Chris Sale is looks like he's the old Chris Sale. Knock on wood. Paxton pitches tonight. He's had one good start, one bad start. Bayo kind of got screwed last night. He got out of a jam in the first inning, only gave up 1 run, but he had a lot of pitches, so he only went 4 innings, and they didn't tie or go ahead, so he got tagged with the loss.
Yep.
Even though he went 4 innings, only gave up 1 run, but he got tagged with the loss. Well, I would think that you could change that stat. So if you're a pitcher and you give up 1 run and your team scores more than that 1 run, you should be off the hook at that point. It's like
they're moving a lot of rules around. This is a good time to change it.
The Red Sox never tied or went ahead, but they scored more than the 1 run he gave up. So I feel like the pitcher shouldn't get tagged with a loss when.
Yeah, interesting. No, you're right. I hear that. Besides Sale, who's your biggest pleasant surprise so far this season for the Red Sox that you didn't see coming?
Jarren Duran, unbelievable. I mean, last year he didn't look like he
everybody when he got drafted, everybody was raving. Yeah. Then last year looked like meh, and he
couldn't catch a fly ball. He could not. He was losing fly balls at night, and he missed probably 4 or 5. I'm like, I don't think I've seen, other than bright sunlight in your eyes, seen a player miss that many fly balls where there was
no sun.
No sun.
Yep.
So he looks like a total different player. And as we talked about a few weeks ago, he looks like he bulked up a little bit. He's been probably the best surprise for me. And Cassis is starting to turn it around. And they're the number 1 draft pick they had 2 years ago, Marcelo Mayer. He was brought up to Portland Sea Dogs yesterday, I believe. So he's one step closer being our shortstop of the future up at the major league level. So,
who's your biggest disappointment?
Maybe Kike, but I was hoping for a bounce back. He's been. It's not his fault. He's always been a utility player.
Yep.
So him playing center field and actually doing well 2 years ago was a pleasant surprise. Him getting thrown into shortstop this year, it's obvious he's not an everyday shortstop. So he's probably my biggest disappointment, but I don't blame it all on him.
Yep.
And a lot of times when your defense isn't doing well, your offense is affected also. So he's probably. Actually, the other bright spot is that Emmanuel. What the hell is his last name? Emmanuel Hernandez, I think it might be. He came up and he's been doing well. I know a lot of people haven't watched much Red Sox because of all the playoff games going on. So they're a good team. They're right in there. And like I said, the AL East is tough. But the good thing is with the new schedule, we don't have to play the AL East as much as we have in the last 5 years.
Yep.
So that helps us. And we're all bunched together. And Tampa Bay is just. If they can keep this up all year,
so annoying. So
God
annoying.
bless them. Unbelievable. Yep. They're unreal. Nobody could see that coming.
No.
They've always been a decent team, but where all the home runs they're hitting, unbelievable, just crazy. So all right. That's about gonna do it.
I know you got to jump. I was going to say. Oh God, now I'm drawing a blank. Oh no, this is how I want it set up. I would like us floundering into the break. We have one more month.
Yeah.
To sort of keep it together and then come out on the other side. I've always felt like if we go in hot, we fizzle on the other side. I'd rather have us hold our own, stay in the conversation, and figure it out on the other side of the break. God willing. God willing.
Yes.
All right. Well, for Adam.
Just don't ruin my summer before July 4th.
My summer, you're ruining my summer. For Adam, for Scotty, who is, he doesn't sound good. That's why he definitely didn't join us, because he does not sound good. He's very phlegmy. They'll be back. Rubber Shoes will be back. He's off to get his hair cut, and we'll see you in and around the internet. ATBshow.com. Thank you to our friends at AAA Work Trucks. We appreciate them having our backs, and please share, like, subscribe, and comment as much as your heart's desire. And Rubber Shoes will be back at it first thing in the morning on all of the internets worldwide. See you, brother.
Yes.
Bye.
Have a good one.